Hi, welcome back to Training Tip Tuesday. Today's tip is how to get your dog to walk on a loose leash. First, I want to start out with the type of harness that I use on my dogs. I like to use the front clip harness, so that means, that it clips on their chest. And the reason I like these harnesses is that because whenever you use a harness that clips on the back, it actually gives your dog more leverage to pull with. But when you use the front clip harness, when the dog pulls, it actually kind of turns them back around towards you, so it makes it a lot harder for the dog to pull. Okay, so one of the most important things to remember when you're walking your dog on a leash is that resistance equals resistance. So what that means in terms of walking your dog is that whenever you pull on the leash, that means the dog is going to match your resistance with an equal amount of force. So that means you're pulling on the leash to get your dog to come back to you, but your dog is going to start pulling harder in the opposite direction. So to prevent that, you want to make sure that you're not creating resistance on your part. Now, a good way to do that is to make sure that you hold your arm down by your side and making sure that your arm isn't going out, because if your arm gets pulled out, then you're going to have to pull your arm back, which is creating resistance. If you're having a hard time keeping your hand by your side, you can do something like stick your thumb in your pocket or grab onto your clothes. It makes it a little harder for your arm to move forward. So what do you do when your dog is the one that's creating the resistance? So your dog is pulling. So if your dog starts pulling, my favorite thing to do is to actually stop. So the second you feel the dog putting tension on the leash, if you just stop and stand there and wait until the leash loosens again, then start moving forward. In the beginning, this can take quite a bit of time, but once your dog gets the hang of it, the second you stop, the dog will probably back up to make some slack in the leash so that you guys can start moving forward again. The dog isn't pulling because they want to pull, the dog pulls because they want to get somewhere. And when you walk forward when the dog is pulling, you're actually rewarding the dog for pulling. So like I said, this method can take quite a while in the beginning. You may find yourself standing in one spot for 10 or more minutes, but it is well worth it in the end when you have a dog that doesn't pull on a leash. So that's it for Training Tip Tuesday. Make sure to check in next week. Our tip is going to be how to teach your dog the command heel.